one of the greatest players in the history of the game, Willie Mays.
Picture Willie Mays in your mind's eye. He is the summer wind. His very essence is movement. Running out from under his cap, stealing bases, chasing fly balls.
Mays ranging far back.
The basket catch, his windmill of a swing, the most famous catch in baseball history. No player is better defined by how he did it than what he did.
An unforgettable sight.
Than Willie Mays. You would no more define Mays by his 3,283 hits than you would Miles Davis by albums sold. George Gershwin said, life is a lot like jazz. It's best when you improvise. So is baseball. And Willie Mays is to baseball what jazz is to music. There was nothing like him when he came along in 1951. Still isn't, as he turns 90 years old May 6th, and never will be. Like Pele, Gretzky, Jordan, and Sayers, the aesthetic of Willie Mays is even larger than the career. He was born not just to play baseball, but to entertain.
People shake their unbelieving heads and feel good.
He wore a cap one size too small just so it would fly off his head. He perfected the basket catch while playing ball in the Army.
That peach basket catch.
Just because it was fun.
Fans loved it. You don't see that anymore because nobody can do that.
A 24-time All-Star. He hit .307 in those showcase games.
Treated each Midsummer Classic as if it were his own personal showcase.
Mays described his style this way. When you're playing sports, you have to do more than catch the ball and throw it back in. You have to do something different. You gotta improvise sometimes. You gotta create something for the fans. Make it fun. His speed shocked what had been a boring station-to-station game. In 1955, he became the only player, and still is, to hit 50 home runs and lead the league in triples. Then in 1956, Mays became the first player in 12 years to steal 40 bases.
Willie steals second. A thrill of excitement stirs the Polo Grounds crowd.
It was the first of his 4 straight stolen base titles.
There goes Willie.
Teams searched for the next Willie Mays, opening the game to more diversity of style and skin color. His most spectacular skill may have been his defense. As teammate Monty Irvin once said, it was his solemn duty to catch a ball that wasn't in the stands.
I guess I was kind of cocky kid, knowing that if the ball went up, I could catch it.
Day after day, year after year, Mays, only 5'10", 170 pounds, made sure he was out there putting on a show for the fans, at bat, on the bases, and in the field. He is the only player in history, not Gehrig, not Ripken, to play 150 games for 13 consecutive years. He is the most powerful hitter ever for his size. Only 2 men no taller than 5'10" have hit more than 360 home runs. Mel Ott, who hit 5'11", and Mays, far out in front, with 660. But those are just the numbers. To understand the essence of Willie Mays, you have to go back to St. Nicholas Place in Harlem in the early 1950s. Mays lived there in a ground floor apartment. Many a morning, the neighborhood kids would knock on his apartment window, wanting the best baseball player in the world to come out and play stickball with them. He did. Then he would buy them ice cream. Then he would walk the few blocks to the Polo Grounds and play baseball like nobody had ever seen before.
Willie Mays, the greatest player of his time.
He played with such passion, such artistic movement, that those of us lucky enough to witness it would tell our children, I saw Willie Mays play, as if they had seen Hemingway in Madrid or Maria Callas at the Met. The actress, Tallulah Bankhead, once said there have been only two geniuses in the world, Willie Mays and William Shakespeare. Man, Mays was a baseball genius who positioned the Giants' defense and game planned for and against pitchers.
If you're the leader of a ball club, you have to make sure that you are in control.
But the true genius of Willie Mays is found in his nickname, the Say Hey Kid. Ted Williams, Gary Carter, Ken Griffey Jr., and Willie Mays, all Hall of Fame players who earned the highest nickname of honor, Kid. Whether playing stickball in Harlem at 20, winning the World Series at 23, knocking in the winning run of a World Series game with his last hit at 42, or turning 90 years old this year.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays honors the original, purest version of baseball that we hold so dear, that this is a kid's game. It is designed to be fun. When played well and with joy, baseball is never better. No. Nobody played baseball better than Willie Mays. The Say Hey Kid is the oldest living Hall of Famer. When he was inducted in 1979, Mays found just the right words to describe what made him the Say Hey Kid. He said, "This country is made up of a great many things. You can grow up and be what you want. I chose baseball, and I loved every minute of it. I give you one word, love. It means dedication."
I like to be remembered as a guy that loved what he was doing.
Willie Mays loved baseball. He was born to play it. The wonder of Willie Mays is that it was not a solitary pursuit. He performed, he entertained, he gave joy, he touched the kid in all of us.